When Elizabeth becomes queen, she's not necessarily highly skilled in this. Her background is that of fundamentally a country lady, and as we see, not even a country lady who could manage her mother-in-law. So she's probably not a big player. I think it likely, we don't know, but I think it very likely that the skill in this family comes from Elizabeth's own mother, Jacquetta, who had been the Duchess of Bedford, therefore married to a man of royal blood. He was running France at the time. She was the absolute top lady at the court of Margaret of Anjou, because they were a family connected to the House of Lancaster. So you've got a woman there who knows her way around the corridors of power and has been the second lady in the land at an English court before. She'd have known everybody. There aren't many people at this time. She'd have known all the families, she'd have known all the children. I imagine she knew how to manipulate the levers of power pretty well. I think after the family's released from sanctuary and Elizabeth goes to live in the country with the two younger daughters and the two older daughters go to court, that Elizabeth has to respond to the new world order. Everything has changed. There is clearly a new king in England, Richard. Then, after a little while, he is childless, and after a little bit longer, he doesn't have his wife alive either. So you have a king on the throne of marriageable age who has to have a son and heir. And there you have Princess Elizabeth at his court, and everybody says they're in love. The scandal at the time is that they're in love. What we see then, I think, is Elizabeth Woodville being very medieval. You know, we wouldn't necessarily go there ourselves. What she says, very, very astute politician. She says, how am I going to get back into power myself? How am I most likely to get my family back into power? I argue in the novel, since she knows she has a prince in hiding, how am I going to get into a position that I might be able to get my prince back into power, or at any rate back into England? And by marrying Elizabeth to her uncle, who had been really up until this point regarded as their mortal enemy, she does start the process whereby the House of York becomes reunited. And if she had done it, I think we would have thought it was a very clever thing to do. If she had achieved that, then when Henry Tudor landed, there would have been a united country against him. I doubt he would have won at the Battle of Bosworth, and we would perhaps still be under a York monarchy. Who knows? When we think about Elizabeth at the end of the novel, I think, for me, she's not in a tragic situation, because although she isn't queen anymore, she's still a player. She's still got a daughter at the court. Anything might happen. Her daughter will marry either Richard III or Henry Tudor. Anything could happen. Who knows? In a sense, one of the exciting things for me about Elizabeth is that you always get a sense with her that she's going, well, okay, not so good at the moment, but who knows what might come. Also, she's free. She's settled herself in a very nice house in the heart of England, and she has her son. And it seemed to me in a way that the tragedy of the Princes in the Tower is absolutely subverted if one suggests that one of them escaped. So the close of the novel, really, which is her delighting in the presence of her little boy, just seemed to me hugely moving. That seemed to me to be the happiest ending I could get to in this novel.